Oh well, I did pretty well because I managed to actually video record this stuff. This stuff just pops up out of nowhere on the timeline, and it's all based on MK Ultra. And then you get the ability to respond to this type of stuff because this is what U.S. government aimed at. I had Sylvester Stallone even talking to him about being an illusionist, but he stated to me that he's actually nobody, that he's just an illusionist. He's not a nobody. Everybody is something. Everybody is something. The only thing that I have to say next to this comment is I definitely not contemplated on this F here because I'm not so simple when I talk to people like this on a Facebook. I just don't do that, really. If it's something that is, actually that depends on person. I might actually send you to hell too. I'm a very direct person. But that F right there, that definitely was not attempted. It popped up somehow. I had a problem. I had to fix here losers. There was something, I think D or something like that, and I had to click the correct whatever, and F popped up there. Believe it or not, this is what it came out. Other than that, the only thing I did was I added this stuff here. I improved this comment, and so now the comment looks actually like this. There are two comments I left him, and that's his response. He wanted to have a war with me. Oh, I'm a very bad person to pick up the war with, because when I'm done with you, you're going to have a lot of questions to answer. It's not even going to be to me. It's actually going to be about something else. If you did not realize, what I do is I witness about this stuff. So people learn about United States of America. America did not learn anything about me. America was out there to get its peace and basically kick in ass, destroy, basically kill, portray in a negative light, and so on. And so that's fine. That's okay. I did not know any better. But now it's 2025, and just as I stated, these people need to update. This picture popped up out of absolutely nowhere in front of me, and I got it here. When you wake up to 0 notifications, realizing you mean nothing to anyone. I don't know. I did not know that I don't mean anything to anyone. Now, if that's what it is, that I mean absolutely nothing to anyone, and this stuff here was triggered by this here. As a matter of fact, I have to be really careful about this. This traces to August the 7th. Oh shit. And look at that, it's August the 9th. So that would not even pay me off. It was not triggered by that stuff. But I think it was triggered by that stuff. I think it was triggered, but not by this stuff here. Not by this stuff here. Sorry, I got a wrong one. Definitely by this stuff here. That's a Donald Trump that it's the stuff that was involved in MK Ultra. The president who avoided Vietnam War draft has been given multiple Purple Hearts by his supporters. This guy, one of the big bosses involved in MK Ultra, knew that there would be a comment due like this from me. That's what he wanted. But I don't think that's what he wanted. That's not what he wanted, because this here is really bad here. This here is very, very, very bad. This is what you, as a Vietnam veteran, this isn't even about MK Ultra, which I did expose here when I posted stuff about what went on with Donald Trump during MKUltra. But, you know, man, this is about the worst thing that you could get as a Vietnam veteran. This stuff here attached to as a message. Probably as a Vietnam veteran, that's not what you want to get, nor you want to get this stuff as a US president, nor you want to get this stuff as a Hollywood actor. That's a pretty fucking bad one. It wasn't, you know, Vietnam veterans that returned to the United States of America that were rejected so much. Really not. You should have seen what the scum, talking about the Vietnam veterans, talking about the Richard Nixon, Ronald Reagan, talking about the White House people, Jimmy Carter, and so on. You should have seen what the scum did to me when we returned from Vietnam. In Vietnam, I was used as a major, like a child that is just, you know, going USA, 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 that USA shit. That's what I was back in the day. As a child, that must have been quite interesting to the soldiers. I did spoke even English. I spoke English. I spoke some German. If I wanted to, I would have learned German, and I even spoke some Spanish. As a child, as a baby, jucked up. In real time, not. And though they got me to Vietnam, and they got me to cheer to the US troops, the Vietnam veterans, basically. You know, there's stuff like this. And this wasn't the only occasion they got me into this type of situations. But this is what I was doing as a child. Obviously, that I have no idea. That's how I started to build my Central Intelligence Agency career. Career to nowhere, that's right. That's probably the comment you would not want to get. You probably will not want to find yourself being promised that there's guys over there in Vietnam who's going to help you. Your comrades. That it's important to be with them. It's important to boost them because this is what you are. You are American. This stuff is sick, right? I'm from completely other country, from completely other part of the world, from very, very unlikely American. I was born in what used to be known as Yugoslavia. The chances for me to be over there in Vietnam on American side, that's fucking crazy. They would execute you, boy. You understand what I said? Even a child, if they would have learned about this shit, they probably never knew about this stuff that I was in Vietnam, because if they, as a child they did not. Because if they would learn about my being in a Vietnam and shit, they would have fucking snapped my throat. I don't know, or maybe that's why my life was so unlucky here in Slovenia. I should say in what used to be known previously as Yugoslavia. If they knew about the shit like this, that's a fucking death sentence, without a doubt. Well, best about it is that with my Vietnam buddies, with whom I kept a very strong connection to, there was a whole bunch of these Vietnam veterans. Vietnam War ended in 1975. In all this Vietnam, I was born on December 9, 1971. That means I had less than 3 years of age. But I was a big boy for 12 months of age. Many said that I was not even born in 1971 on December 9. Many claimed that I was older because of my size. I was just a big boy. And strong. And these Vietnam buddies of mine who returned to the United States of America, and they pledged to support me
They pledged to save me, in a parenthesis. They pledged they will make a star out of me. I really like to see myself in a Vietnam veterans. I was crazy about military as a baby. They kept in touch with me. And then the best moment came. The guys like this, they were going to decide about what to do with me, about my fate. That's what Richard Nixon, Ronald Reagan, people who got me to Vietnam, people who kept me for this type of stuff, came with the idea that Vietnam veterans no longer can save me. And they no longer can save me, and did this shit in front of this guy. This is equivalent to the Vietnam veteran in my eyes. Because he volunteered that he would fuck me. Took all the responsibility from the shoulders of the Vietnam veterans upon on his arms, with his buddies from the Hollywood. This is what this is going to be next for you, were the words of Richard Nixon, Ronald Reagan to me. This is your next solution. This is your next savior right here. But the Vietnam buddies, your Vietnam buddies can't do nothing for you. Why is it they can't do nothing for you? But there's nothing they can do for you because of so many troubles you got yourself into, and you got your Russians and all this and so on and so forth. It's going to be too hard on us and so on. And so they did this splash in front of this guy, whose name is obviously John Rambo. Yeah, that's his name. His name is John Rambo. Maybe U.S. government was fishing for John Rambo. But I never was any kind of John Rambo. I never was any kind of lunatic. And to tell you the truth, the victory I take, I'm not willing to give one away. I'm not going to say just like this to anybody. That's never going to repeat anything like this ever in the history of the world. And nobody can take that away from me. United States of America, over the course of the time, and there's going to be people in the world that's going to judge this, just grew too fucking small for the two. That's all there is to it. This was, well, obviously this was my first comment here, because what I wanted to do is I wanted to respond to a situation related to MK Ultra. That's about just almost, there you go, almost 700 likes. Oh, I don't care about that stuff. I don't care. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I do care. Maybe I do care. Wait a minute. Can they show me? Shit. There is no way to know if I have any friends on listed up there as the likes. Actually, hold on a moment. No, maybe they would be even listed up there. If I don't have any friends listed up there as like or something like that, that's even better for me. Because, what can I say? I don't make any assumptions in respect to whatever. But yeah, that's the message. As a U.S. veteran, as a Vietnam veteran, you probably don't want to get. Fuck. Hollywood actors replaced you guys with the Purple Hearts. You keep those Purple Hearts to yourself. You need them. Actually, not Purple Hearts. The hearts, you keep them to yourself. You need them. I don't want hearts like this on my list. That's not what the world is all about. You should see that video. Hell of a video. World has the right to know what this case was all about. You guys wanted it this way. You guys wanted me to do it all by myself. That's what you said during MK Ultra. I'm gonna have to do it all by myself. There never was anyone other than myself. That's what this shit is. You want it, you got it. When, as an MK Ultra victim, you pull the whole fucking truth out by yourself, you have to do that. Then you know the ultimate truth. And that's obviously you guys wanted, is a last act of betrayal. But the thing about it is, when you do such a stuff, the truth, you absolutely have no regrets. And you absolutely are not by yourself no more. God was with you all the way if you managed to do the stuff I pulled up. That's one thing. And the second thing is the truth. And the truth, it's good. It's good for the world to know. I know the truth evolves around your mainstream media. I know who makes the truth in your world. I understand that. And in your eyes, this is as far as you can grow, because everything evolves around the money. I understand completely. I understand these issues. But I feel I did extremely well anyways, despite your likes or dislikes or no messages, no notifications. I actually don't take it personally, because I know who you are and I know what you're all about. So, not bad at all. This was posted on my timeline. That originally looked like that. I didn't know what the fuck to do with this stuff, because it's very difficult to it's very difficult to I don't like that F stuff. I definitely don't like that one. Very difficult to Is it here? Oh, there you go. Shit, I'm not gonna see the purple hearts. I'm gonna have to skip on that one, but other than that, yeah, that's just fine with me. We take that. Maybe I even get the purple hearts. There you go. And there you have with the purple hearts. See, that's how I do this stuff. I definitely am not gonna argue with you guys. That's how you want it? That's okay, we can fix that. We'll take care of that stuff. You feel better about it, doing stuff like this to people? That's fine. But the world must know about this stuff. The world, it's time for the world to get to know you. Vietnam was a big war. Hell, man, when you realize that not only the Vietnam veterans were betrayed, they were. The Vietnam veterans, some of the Vietnam veterans were betrayed. It was all kinds of stuff that went on. Disgusting stuff. Maybe you wanted me on the picture, who the fuck knows? But the picture you wanted me on, the picture you bargained for, damn, man, that's just when I came with the picture, they did not like already the Vietnam soldiers, veterans, but I did like Vietnam veterans, and I always stood up for the Vietnam veterans. I would spit it because of supporting Vietnam veterans, because of standing up militarily with a physical force against your American compatriots that have not liked American veterans, Vietnam veterans. I stood up in the face of the Russians. I stood up in the face of Chinese. I was hated by the Vietnamese. I was hated by all kinds of people. And the best to come out now is this stuff here. And this isn't about you guys. This world, as I stated, no longer revolves around you. I'm done with you. And there is your video. That's the video you wanted. That's the video I'm going to give you. I don't know what you bargained for, but I certainly myself, definitely, if I were you, I would not want to bargain for this one. Well, like it or not, this is what you get. I never gave any kind of warnings to anybody during MK Ultra. I knew that by giving warnings to the people during MK Ultra, I would not see the daylight of having to realize those. Like you guys, all of you love to threaten and threaten and threaten and threaten. Oh, you guys threaten so much. Well, I just didn't have a time for any of that. I could threaten a whole lot. I don't care about threatening. Threatening is a weakness. But the stuff that I promised you, I will realize. Bad stuff you guys did. Really, really bad stuff. But... and it's shit I cannot bring back. Definitely not. But still, you know. It is what it is, but still... I'm still here. And I owe it to none other than myself. This one you're going to remember in America, that's for sure. I'm going to put your comments down below what to do with it. That's exactly what you do with it. Let's do a little bit time and date. In the core, in very, very core, you Americans committed something very, very atrocious. In a very, very core of this whole thing. In a very, very core. Next time, good luck to you. You're gonna, I'm sure, find somebody else. I should say I did. Help you shape the world in a way you wanted to shape one. And next time you're going to do better. You're going to get yourself somebody else. Maybe get Putin or Xi Jinping as a child. And they will help you shape the world the way you want it. When you traffic a child from another country again, maybe his or her parents are going to have a better idea about how to help you. Or maybe this example is going to help humanity to understand what you are all about. To understand better your needs. The Hollywood guy, they said, screw up everything. No. Hollywood guy did not screw up anything. The screw-up can never screw anything unless you allow him to screw up. Hollywood guy is a nobody. Hollywood guy is just a Hollywood guy. It's just an illusion. But I'd be fucking damn when you get guys, veterans doing stuff like this, disgusting stuff like that already. You wouldn't even fucking know what the fuck you went to the Vietnam for, to be honest with you, and Iraq, and Libya, and Afghanistan, and all the locations where the war raged and you had me, you hosted me, to boost your confidence, to boost confidence of your troops, of other troops, your allies. This is not a moral school. This is just about the facts.
The illusionist, the actor, Stallone talked to me about how it's not easy for the actors, that actors have to blah 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 blah. I had Andrew Tate explaining me about how dangerous it is and why that kind of stuff equals to the veteran, to the U.S. veteran, professional sports people in the U.S., why that equals to the veterans and so on and so forth. That's a bunch of horse shit. That doesn't have absolutely anything to do with reality. I will tell you who the fuck you are. You're a bunch of fucking nobodies. There's a big difference between you and U.S. veterans or soldiers in general. This is not about U.S. veterans only. This is about all the veterans around the world. It's a big fucking difference between you and the people who go to defend their country. When people go defend their country, is something you refer to as mental illness. I was nothing other than mentally ill for all of you. Actually, even for the Vietnam veterans, because you guys got paid in the military. They pay you. You got a salary, you got pay, you got the fucking benefits and shit. Actually, I don't even know how was it for the Vietnam veterans. Might not even be the case, because they had a problem when they returned. They would just not even give them anything. They had a problem with the social benefits and all kinds of issues like this. It was disgusting, the stuff they did with the people. You guys in Hollywood, Sylvester Stallone suggests he fought for the contracts together with the Schwarzenegger, with all these Hollywood actors. They were fighting, killing one another for the Tom Cruise, for the military projects, you know, Top Gun and so on, to boost the military morale and stuff like this. Well, thing about it is that if you go to the U.S. military, you get paid. If you join the U.S. military, you get paid. But pay compared to the Hollywood clowns is nothing. There's no comparison. There's no way to compare the two. That's crazy. Some of those end up as a multi-billionaires, not even as a multi-millionaires. But you have U.S. veterans, in some cases, homeless. Maybe some of them even deserve to be fucked. I don't know. It's all kinds of people out there. Now, that's all I wanted to say. I don't want any kind of philosophy. I'm not a U.S. veteran. And I don't belong on a picture with the U.S. veterans. I always have enormous respect for the U.S. veterans, whether that be even as a police officers I dealt with or with fire rescue people. In the U.S., they're all veterans. You go to work for the Florida state or you go to work for correctional officer, whatever, you get the veteran status. You don't get that anywhere else in the world, really. It's a different kind of stuff, but you just don't get this kind of stuff. And actually, it's different veteran statuses they get. As a police officer, you get all kinds of benefits and so on. Anything that puts your life in danger, it's related to the veteran status. Fuck that. I don't even see myself as an American, to be honest. I'm not comfortable seeing myself as something I'm not. And as you know about me, those who were involved in it, I didn't give a fuck about paying the price in whatever I have seen myself in. And it didn't matter the cost that I paid. For whatever I saw myself in, I took the responsibility, and it didn't matter. I was a military of one. I didn't give a fuck. If I said something, then I made it to the end, and that's it. There was no question about how or this and that. Whatever they were trying to, they did not succeed in it. That's it. Me seeing myself in something I had no place to see myself on, that would just really contribute to some kind of mental illness. And I did spoke about the mental illness issues here. I reject mental illness totally. Never gonna fucking expose myself to illusionists. Men with the ties and with the beautiful suits. You're never gonna see me up there. I'm gonna take the side of whomever, whatever, to see myself in, just to avoid the mental illness. I don't understand how the fuck you have to be, but you definitely are mentally ill if you see yourself in an individual like that right there. You must not be in your head all up there. If you go and you promote the stuff like this in eyes of something very disgusting, talking about my own case, you must not be all in there in your head, man. You gotta be sick. You definitely are sick. So you don't actually even affect me with all the hope you have out there to affect me, that this is gonna affect me in some way. All right, let's say we're gonna fuck him. That's me, basically. Let's just say for a moment that you're in it to fuck me. No. Actually, you fuck a lot of Americans with this kind of stuff. As a U.S. veteran, you do that stuff. That's what you did. You're using your status that was given to you, and that's a privileged status, to fuck people with it. Younger people, all kinds of people. I cannot even see myself from this perspective, from the perspective you guys do stuff like this. I don't fucking understand you, any of it. This guy really was a fucking draft dodger. I was told that the MK Ultra equal to 10 deployments. 10 Iraq deployments. That's what some general was telling me. They were telling me about that stuff. That's a bullshit. You didn't get as much stress, trauma. I got in a single MK Ultra session, a weekly session, than if you served 5 years in Iraq. And this MK Ultra case went on for no less than 11 years, 24/7. That's what you kept me, jucked up for 11 years straight. Each year, 365 days, each day, 24-hour day. Multiply that shit and you're going to see what the fuck you get out of it. I don't give it. You know what? To me, I do not even think about this stuff, because if I would, it probably would affect me, whatever. But it does not affect me in absolutely any way. That's why I said, you sicken other people with this stuff. You don't sicken me. It doesn't come through my skin. You don't do anything to me. Think about it. This here really, really sucks. Stuff like this, somebody would have told you about this stuff here. As a U.S. veteran. Forget about what Vietnam veteran lied in my face in front of you. Upon, shit, I put here his, upon their return. upon their return from Vietnam is unite together, pointing fingers at one another with Nixon, Reagan, as you actors and Vietnam veterans. That's how it all ended, with them pointing finger at one another. In the end, of course, it was also Hollywood that could not save me. All through, interesting about the Hollywood is they were involved in torture since my early childhood, and when it comes to after 38 years, what turned out to be literally psychiatric hospitalization in 2012, boy, they did everything possible to get me fucked, to destroy me. Before they threw me in there, it was even worse. Unprecedented stuff. Yeah, I was pretty damn smart, because look at that. Today the world actually needs to know what I was all about. Huh? Let me help you out with a little bit with the mental illness. You like one? Let me help you out a little bit with the mental illness. What I was all about. You see yourself scum in the mirror, you will understand exactly what I was all about. For none of you have anything you can say bad about me. I was simply your mirror. And I still continue to champion for you as much as I possibly could. That's an expense I take. That's on my bill. That's at my account. But yeah, honorable all the way to the end. And that's how it is, ladies and gentlemen. You do it by yourself. John Rambo. That's a crazy fictional, I don't know what I would even say. I definitely not like that movie. It's a stupid fucking movie. It's basically how to make yourself as somebody and nobody. Well, in this case, the world is going to judge if I'm nobody or I'm somebody.